It's about that time.
Coming to you live every Wednesday night.
Fantasy start and sit advice with your boy PL.
And Michigan Mike, let's go.
We talking about
all things fantasy.
We talking about
all things fantasy.
We talking about
all things fantasy.
Mike and PL,
the fantasy show.
What's up, football family? Welcome to week 3 of the Fantasy Football Show. I am your co-host, Mr. PL Coulter. Flanked to my right is my right-hand man, Mr. Michigan Mike, Michael Hasso.
What's up?
What's going on, Michigan Mike, man? You ready to talk some fantasy football, man?
Let's go, man. I'm ready.
All right, let's get started, man. So I guess the best thing that we can say about week 2 was that if your players came out healthy, you probably won that week.
That's true. I mean, at least we didn't get hurt, right?
Well, at least we came
Our fingers still work.
Right. Knock on wood, we are alive and well. As far as well, not so good for some other players. I mean, Jordan Cameron, we got RG3, we got Vernon Davis. I mean, lots of players that's out, and we're not even talking about the heavyweights that's fallen into the injury bug and had to take an early exit from the lineup. Now, Michigan Mike, the people want to know, and I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
The backups, are the backups worthy of replacement start
All right.
status this week? All right, so let's get started. Jamal Charles went down early game against Denver last week. This week he's out. Backup now, Davis. What do you think, man?
I mean, if you're hurting for a running back, I'd say pick him up. I think he'll be a good 100 yards back for this week. So.
Okay, I mean, well, he's playing the Miami Dolphins, who's given up 100 yards the last 2 weeks anyway. And also this past week, he put up over 100 total yards and 2 TDs. He'll definitely get the start this week. Now, someone who's iffy to get the start this week is Cincinnati wide receiver stud A.J. Green. Toe injury, turf toe. You're a football player, man. Ever had turf toe?
He's not going to be able to play with that turf toe unless he gets a shot. I mean, you can get the cortisone shot in the toe, but yeah.
I feel totally unathletic right now, so I will digress. Now, this Sunday, again, he's out, but he'll be replaced by Mohamed Sanu. Now, last week he was 3 for 84 and a touchdown, but one was really on a long bomb. They play the Titans this week. Mike, what say you?
Man, I wouldn't start him, man. That Tennessee D is pretty good against the pass, so I wouldn't start him.
Okay, so sorry, Sanu owners, you may want to leave him on the bench. Now, somebody else is going to be on the bench, and this one hurts me, Mike, so I really need your help on this one. Ryan Matthews, man, running back in all of my leagues. Went down with a knee injury.
Yeah, that sucks.
Iffy to come back. Now, his backups, Danny Woodhead and Donald Brown, will get increased but probably split carries. Are any of them worth a flyer?
Maybe a flex. I wouldn't start him. Either of them. I don't think. No.
So if you're down Matthews, you may want to look elsewhere anyway?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as far as elsewhere, you may want to take a flyer on Bobby Rainey, running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last week he put up over 170 yards of total offense, and he's playing against the 26th ranked rush defense in the Atlanta Falcons this week. So
yeah.
If you can grab him first, definitely try him. Mark Ingram. The list keeps going on and on and on.
Man, how long is this list?
Right, man. So we're going rapid fire here. Mark Ingram, hand injury, out a month. Now, he was arguably a top 10 fantasy back the first 2 weeks, 3 touchdowns, plenty of yards. Mike, back up. What do you think for him?
Robinson, pick him up. I have him in multiple of my leagues, and he's been pretty good, even when Ingram was in. So I say start him.
Right, and it looks like that he got some looks in the passing game last week too. So in points per reception leagues, you may want to really see his upside there. Good stuff by you. Now, this week's Deep Sleeper segment will be brought to you by the man himself, Mr. DP Danny Padilla. What's going on, my man?
What's going on, Mr. PL Coulter? I appreciate the awesome introduction.
Oh, no problem, man. Now, for those who don't know, like way back in his infancy, this man was providing those hot sleeper picks for your waiver wire needs. He'll be doing that for us again this season, and he's graced our studio with his presence. What you got for us this week?
Yes, sir. I'm just trying to go ahead and drop some knowledge on you guys in regards to some of the deep sleepers. What I'm going to focus on this week is probably going to be tight ends.
Okay.
First of all, we want to go to look at some of the people that had or that are going to be displaying good potential within the last couple weeks. My first person is going to be Niles Paul. tight end out of Washington.
Okay.
With Mr. Captain Kirk taking the helm out in Washington, I think he has a favorite target, and that is going to be Mr. Paul. He's shown a lot of potential. His first week, he had 8 catches for 99 yards and 1 touchdown.
Right, and Washington definitely has upgraded the quarterback position. They're down to Sean Jackson. He should get plenty of looks.
He's a person to look at. I think that with Captain Kirk there, it should be good potential for a good mix. Going forward, I have Mr. Larry Donnell coming out of New York, tight end, out of the New York Giants. Looks like Eli Manning's blanket as a la 2012, Mr. Martellus Bennett.
Yeah, I mean, especially Eli and going with the Cowboys' second or the linebackers, they haven't been covering anybody really well, so that'll look pretty good.
His potential matchups, I mean, week 1, he had 5 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown. Last week, he went 7 for 81. So, I mean, you can see he's getting the targets outside of all the receivers they have, but good pickup stash for weeks to come, especially for bye week.
And there you have it. Good stuff by you, DP. Now, Michigan Mike.
What's up?
Week 3's matchups to watch. What you got?
All right, matchups to watch. When we do this segment, I'm going after if you have any offensive players on either of these teams, start them because it's going to be a lot of points.
Okay.
High offense. First one I have is Washington versus Philly. You know,
Right.
Philly scores those points, fast offense. I think when they had that clock, it was like 10 seconds per snap. So watch out for that. And plus, their defense isn't very good. Second matchup I have is Detroit versus Green Bay.
Okay.
That's going to be a shootout as
Yeah.
well.
Plenty of weapons.
Yeah. And then the last one I have Super Bowl rematch. Denver versus Seattle. High points right here.
High point.
Yep. So watch out for those. If you have any players on those teams, start them this week.
Start them this week. Good stuff by you, Michigan Mike. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. When you hear that noise, you know it's time for the
Homer alert.
That's right, the Homer alert for Week 3. Cincinnati Bengal fans, I know you're excited about the start of your team and your new $100 million quarterback in Andy Dalton. But if you own him and you plan on starting him this week, then you, my friend, are on Homer alert. Now, Michigan Mike, I mean, 6th passing in the league. I mean, he has all the stats, 276 yards a game in the first 2 games. But there's 2 big factors here. One, no A.J. Green this week. He'll be out with turf toe, or if he does play, he'll be severely limited. And 2, the Titans' defense is quietly number 1 against the pass and number 1 in sacks in the AFC. So,
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's good about the Titans, besides their front 7, because it's not very good, but their secondary is really good. So
yeah, the second. And speaking of a front 7 that's not really good, they gave up over 200 yards rushing to DeMarco Murray and the Dallas Cowboys last week. Coincidentally, the Cincinnati Bengals ran all over the Falcons. So you may look for plenty of rushing across the board against the Titans defense, which would limit Dalton's attempts from one of your blockbuster 300-yard games and all of that. So there you have it. Now, if you have any questions or you'd like to reach us at any time, you can always hit me up on Twitter at PLColter. That's at PLCOLTER. You can always reach my co-host at
Michael Hasso, that's MICHAELJASSO.
All right, y'all. Life is a sport, so always play to win.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.